5th on that category, and I actually still do, I believe, have 5th on all zones. I'm like 12th or 13th or 16th or some crap like that now in any percent because a lot of people started running it.
All right, I guess. Yeah, we're ready to go when you are.
Also, this is the one side. No, it's not. This is good.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I've received a blessing from the setup gods to to take it away.
Cool. All right, so this is Goonies 2, and since I... thank you. I'll take a brief time here to explain a little bit of what's going on here, because I blew my estimate away by 5 minutes from the last game, so we're good. So this is Goonies 2, and you're wondering, like, how is there a Goonies 2 when there was never a Goonies 2 movie, nor are you thinking maybe there wasn't a Goonies 1 game. Well, there was a Goonies 1 game, actually. It was released on the Famicom in Japan. It was never actually released in console form in the United States, but it was in the arcade. And it was, I believe, only on PlayChoice 10s. Could be wrong about that, though. So Goonies 1 was here just in arcade form. And obviously, since there was never a second movie, this game is more just like a sequel to the arcade game / Famicom game more than anything. So it doesn't really, like... So it kind of loosely adheres to a Goonies storyline. So you play as Mikey. Here the Goonies are kidnapped, and also a mermaid named Annie is kidnapped. Randomly, I guess. And so that's kind of the story behind this game. We're trying to rescue the Goonies, and we're trying to rescue Annie. And this game's kind of very much like a Metroidvania style game. It's got a pretty big map. It's got 2 maps actually, and some good old fashioned mazes and stuff. So I guess we can get started if you're ready.
Sure. Yeah. You want to count it down, and I'll get you going.
Yep. So because there's no real good way of doing this, I'll just have you start when I hit start here. Normally, what happens is my timer's at like minus 3.2, and I start it here.
Okay.
So that when I get control is when time actually starts.
Yeah.
But we'll just do it. We'll just deal with it.
Okay.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, go. So normally, now is when time would start, but we'll just deal with it.
Okay.
So I hope you like the Cyndi Lauper "Goonies Are Good Enough" song, because you'll hear it a little bit. So first thing we're gonna do, we're coming here, we're gonna get a hammer and leave. So we're gonna be doing a lot of jumping too, because jumping off of ledges is faster than falling off of them. We're gonna get a key holder out of this room and leave. Like what I just did kind of is about to illustrate 2 things I was going to talk about. So I kind of blew a jump and I nicked the corner there, so it slowed my momentum down. And then I took knockback damage from the Fratelli. So this game only actually, like, you only take knockback damage, or when you take damage, you only take knockback if you're standing on the ground. So more often than not, what I'm going to try and be doing is jumping into any damage I'm intending to take. That way, I'm in the air and won't take any knockback damage. So it's not like Chip and Dale where I have to flip around or anything like silly like that. I just have to make sure I'm in the air in general, and we'll be good. So we're gonna come in here. We're gonna randomly punch this wall and get a bomb box, and then we're gonna come here and we're gonna take our hammer and just smash this wall open to get a door, and then let this our first Goonie loose. And we're late, so he was almost killed or something, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. So every time you rescue a Goonie, you get a health refill, and you also get an extra block of health. So that's always handy. So also, when you die, you will respawn with 4 bars of health if you have it. And if you have more than that, you only get that. So there's points in time where you don't want to die, especially once you have more health. So I'm going to be taking some safety strats for the marathon here, which is why my estimate's a little higher. Because this game can be pretty unforgiving, and if I were trying to go for a PB run, I'd be taking 2 Death Warps and have no lives left and would have to basically play perfectly the rest of the game. And I don't want to do that here, so I'm going to avoid 1 Death Warp entirely, and I am going to take the second one we normally take. So here, we're going to punch a wall and get a transceiver. And actually, I pretty much punched the door and got the transceiver, and I went the wrong way. Cool. So this game has a front map and a back map, and depending on which side you're in, depends on which way you want to go. So here's where I would normally Death Warped actually in the pit before here. And there's also a 2-frame window jump I could have tried to do here, but if I got half of it and then messed the second half up, I would have died. So we're just going to skip it entirely. And here's the Death Warp I will take, because it'll put me up on the top ledge there and refill my health. So we're going to come over here, and we're just going to not get that trick ding. So what I try and do there is I try and go in the door before the bomb goes off, or as the bomb's going off, but before I take damage. You have to basically lay the bomb on the right frame, and it's a tough... Oh, goodness. Okay. So I just used up my extra life. So now we got to play really well. No big deal. That or take a game over in a spot that's not going to make me have to farm keys. 1 or 2. But I do have full health here, which is what I want. So I'm going to take this damage boost off this guy. As you see, I jumped into it, so I didn't take any knockback damage. Then we're going to walk to the left a little bit just so we jump down there easily. Take a hammer, bash open this wall, come through here. No big deal. So that snake spawned a little early, but not too bad. I didn't get hit, so that's all that matters. I'm going to take a jump here in case the volcano spews, but it didn't, so we're good. So we're still good on damage, so I'm going to go ahead and damage boost through him too. I'm going to damage boost through him because I kind of have to. Unless I want to make it slow. Ooh, volcano, you tried me. Alright. That one succeeded, but that's okay, I still have enough health. So now we're going to do the reason I got the transceiver here, and I'll explain after I do it. And I didn't do it, I failed. But I'll get another try at it. There we go. So what I just did, I tricked... So there's an item in this game called the glasses, which lets you see invisible, like invisible things. And so the glasses are the first thing on the second page of the inventory. And I got the transceiver to invoke to make the second page of the inventory accessible. And so what happens is that when you go into the second page of the item inventory, for 1 frame, the cursor doesn't exist. And if you use an item while the cursor doesn't exist, it uses what should be the first item, which is the glasses. So I was using the glasses without having the glasses is basically what I was doing there. I'm going to be doing it one more time right here too. Well, not right here, but right here. Right there. To get my diving suit. And it's pretty much like a frame perfect trick. You have like 1 frame to do it when you switch the menu. And if you fail, you use the and end up using the transceiver. You lose like 5 seconds from the transceiver text because it's slow. So a lot of this, unfortunately, with the any % route is kind of going back and forth between a few places. Getting more items, getting more Goonies, and then being able to progress a little further in them. I'm going to jump over this for Telly, because he's dumb. So you'll see I came through here basically just to get a Goonie and a key and a set of keys. I meant to jump there while I hit, but it didn't work. One thing I didn't really go into is that I picked up the hyper shoes when I blew open that wall. Hyper shoes obviously just make me run faster. This is a speed run, we gotta go fast. So well, here's one of the things I'm going to be doing for safety. I'm going to come in here, and oops, I went back the way I came actually. So come through here, and so normally in a PB attempt I wouldn't be going this way at all. This is actually me coming out of the way a little bit. So I just don't quite have enough keys to actually finish the game. So I'd have to farm one. I'm one short. So what I just did was went out of my way to get a key holder. So now I have enough keys to finish the game. In a PB attempt, I would be attempting to farm a key off of enemies. But I could end up wasting a lot of time doing that, so I'm not going to in this marathon run. So now we have ice physics to contend with, because who doesn't love a game without ice physics? Or a game with ice physics, I guess. I meant to say. So I'm pretty good on health right now. So now we're gonna see something cool for the first time here, and that's the diving suit in action. So we have a full-blown diving suit, scuba gear, and spear gun. How about that? Yo, go down the hole. So we're just gonna come over here. We're gonna punch this wall and get a ladder. So now this is where we start having fun. Now we start using the hammer on the ceiling, and then using the ladder. We'll rescue this Goonie. And we're 2 minutes late, apparently, for what? I don't know. This must be one of those movie tropes. Ever see that about movies? I always thought that was weird. Somebody's inevitably always late to something in a movie, and then it actually makes no difference to the movie at all that they're late. Like, you're late! And then nothing happens to them, and it makes no difference. But whatever. Anyway. So we've rescued some Goonies. And we still have to rescue a few more. So actually, here is where I would attempt to farm one of my keys. I would kill that. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I would have killed that scorpion down there with a bomb, and I would have tried to kill that snake there, and then this guy here, the scorpion or the spider. And it takes 3 kills to drop an item, and enemies can either drop a key, a heart, or a bomb. Oh, I overjumped a little bit. That's fine. I didn't die. That's what matters. This is gonna be a little bit slower. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna bash this wall in. Get this Goonie. And we're obviously braver than Brand because he said so. And if you don't know who Brand is, I don't blame you. Go watch the first Goonies movie, or the only Goonies movie, I guess. Then you'll know who Brand is. Alright, now we get into the inflated difficulty of this game here pretty soon. So far it hasn't been too bad. The next area I'm going to be going into, the next new area that you guys are going to see, a lot of stuff does an entire bar of damage. So I have to do a very good job managing my health and not getting hit too much. So another thing I probably should mention here is, like, when you jump on, I got clipped by the platform, but when you jump on these, or when you're on these platforms, if they're going up and then you jump as well while they're going up, you actually get the extra lift from the platform going up, so your jump actually goes a little higher. So we use that to jump before we normally could. So the area I'm about to come up to is the one I'm talking about. Oh, I need the hammer, actually. So it's this place. So things are going to start spawning, but I won't let them because I'm going to be going through these 2 rooms too fast. So this is where it starts. So there's like these dragon things and these fireballs. These fireballs right here, actually, can do an entire bar of damage if you take the hit. Here's the one of the dragons. I actually didn't mean to get hit by him and actually meant to jump later. So I was just saving myself from dying. And normally one will spawn on this ledge that I'm just below where I was just climbing up from, but one didn't, so that's really good. So I have a lot of health right now. Like, if I get out of here with like 2 bars of health, I'm doing good. And I have 3 and some change. So, then to be honest, if I get out of there with like a bar and a half, I'm not doing too bad. The game cut me a break by not spawning one of the dragons I would normally get hit by. So we're getting close to the end here. Close-ish anyway. So we're gonna just like kill this midget guy. Sorry, little person. Alright. So in here, normally what I could there's a guy down here that I could normally just climb this ladder I just passed and despawn this guy right here actually. I could climb that ladder and despawn him. So he's got that sword he like lunges at you with. If you hit his body, you take a half a bar of damage. But if you get hit by that sword, you take a full bar of damage. So you don't want to do that. So if you're low on health, you can actually despawn him, and then you don't have to worry about him. But since I was really good on health, I didn't bother. And here you have to that low bridge there that I swam under there. It's kind of deadly because if you have about say half of your body off the screen, you die. So there's Goonie number 5. We have one more Goonie. And then Annie. So here's a spot too now. I've got 7 health, so if I die, I'm going to start with 4. And it's going to suck. So I don't want to die here. So that was pretty close. I was trying to get cute and not bonk my head against the ceiling and like get stuck. And I almost died for it. Oops, I want my ladder. Alright, so now we're going to backtrack through here. So we're going to take the hit on him on purpose, because if he lunged with the sword and I took that damage, that would have sucked. So, like, I need to kind of not get too ridiculously damaged here, but it's not. I'm not in this position where I have to worry about it too much. I'm going to go ahead and boost through him, and just walk off this here, and go in the door. Oops, went the wrong way. The front and back maps can be kind of disorienting sometimes, and you only know really where you're coming from if you just remember, or the way Mikey's facing when you get into one of those doorways kind of is a giveaway, but if you're not really paying that much attention, so I'm in a warp zone. So since he's facing me, I just came in from the front. Oops, I didn't need to do that. That just wasted time. I meant to actually just go back here. That's what I meant to do. Anyway, that's what I get for talking. I lose my focus. I'm going to take some intentional... I'm going to take the... That bat actually did me a solid. I took the damage from the bat and not the dragon. And really didn't want to walk off that ledge. I wanted to jump, but you know, I'm going to take what this game's going to give me. We're going to boost off of him, go in the door. We're going to hit this ceiling with the hammer, knock a hole in it, use the ladder, get Goonie number 6. Normally I put the ladder back in the hole first before I unlock the Goonie, but whatever. Not the biggest deal in the world. So now we just got to go after Annie. So this is... Oops, I should have just walked off there, but whatever. Not the end of the world. So that's the kind of stuff this game can do to you. It just puts the fireball like right in your way. And there's nothing you can do about it except take the hit and like it or not. So we're going to come up here. So this is fun. Watch this. Boom. You blink and you miss it. Basically, I just I jumped on top of the platform by jumping through it. So now we just gotta go save Annie. Not a big deal. So this is... Come through this door here. Come back out on this side. So we're going to go back to the beginning. So this is where I started. So we've come full circle here. And actually, this is the door I got my first key holder in. But now we got this hole here. We can go up here. Come out here. Now this is a tricky jump here. It's very easy to fall in that pit and die. Matter of fact, Dragon Dark's tutorial says don't do that. And I said why, and I did it anyway. And then I found out the hard way one time why you don't. But I do it anyway. It's, to be honest, like, it's not a difficult jump. It's just one that if you aren't paying attention, you can mess it up. So we're getting pretty close to the end here. It's pretty good. I'm going to estimate I'm going to probably get a low 17 based on how I've been playing. considering deaths a lot of times put you ahead of where you died, which is really nice. Alright. So we're gonna bash a hole in there that we couldn't see. Alright. Actually do get ready on time.
Okay.
Alright, so we got one more swimmy part. Which just means I have to go down here. Alright. Time. And we got... Hey! This isn't PG.
Your time was 17:29.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about a minute off my PB. So Annie loves Mikey, even though that's just met for the first time, I think. I don't know. The story doesn't really... And hooray for Konami and the Goonies, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, and check out Ma Fratelli just walking into a police van by herself. Just... Oh, they rescued Annie.
Okay.
I'll just arrest myself. Why not? And check this out. Peace has arrived again in the town of Goondocks. Goondocks, because this is the Goonies. Goondocks. Okay, so that was Goonies 2.
Thanks very much for the run,
How long did you
Philosoraptor.
run?